My coach was an Olympic team coach. And so when he saw us making stuff up on the mat, he would scream, "Lerner, no home cooking." No, I went back to school, and this is really where it helped me start to break free from a lot of my biases when it comes to what I had learned within the chiropractic community about running a practice, generating income, managing staff, and breaking free from a lot of my own misconceptions. I would say that prior to that, I was really a bad boss. I was not necessarily even the best person, because everything for me was coming from a conception of my athletic career, that you coach hard, you work hard, you perform, you execute, you get results. And if not, then you're bad, you're screwing up, and you need to know about it. Like that was my mentality, because I was a wrestler for decades. I was a competitive athlete in a lot of different areas, and that's how I was coached. That's how I responded. And that was my reality, and everything confirmed that. In fact, I was getting results doing that. I built the biggest practice, the fastest in chiropractic history, built a 15,000 a month practice out of 5 clinics. We were killing it, but I was stuck within my echo chamber of the way it was done in sports and what I had learned briefly from other leaders in chiropractic. I was stuck there. So when I went to school, I managed to break free. I learned about how to hire staff. The entire hiring process we teach in chiropractic is the group report. You just take everybody that applied and stick them in a room and do a group report and look at who seems to like chiropractic and respond the best and hire them. Well, that's an awful way to do it. That's lunacy. That's heresy within the actual industrial and organizational management community. In a real corporate setting, that's nuts, but that's how chiropractic has done it for years. But chiropractors also tend to constantly have staff issues as a result of that process. So I broke free from it. Another thing, we teach in chiropractic is being innate driven, which is very powerful, but actually intuitive leadership is considered, again, a major flaw in any leader, where you're going, well, this seems like a good idea. Let's try this, or I like doing it this way. Let's do it this way. Like that, in terms of actual true leadership training. And I'm getting this PhD in business from a business perspective. I mean, you'll fail the class if you ever suggested that this sort of intuitive model was what you thought would work well in any sized organization. Instead of intuitive leadership, it's supposed to all be research driven, that you are using tried and true practices. And of course, you can refine that through innate and intuition and make it fit into your culture and your vision for what you're trying to do in your practice and in your life. But intuition is no way to do it. You learn models that are proven models that have already been through the grind of life and trial and error, that are working over and over again. So when I work with the clients, I'll find they've made up all kinds of stuff, and we give them things that we know that actually work. And then, of course, again, it could be massaged into their personality and into what they love, but don't screw up what's working. When I was back to wrestling again, when my coach was an Olympic team coach, and so when he saw us making stuff up on the mat, he would scream, "Lerner, no home cooking. I teach Olympians what the moves I'm showing you work and win gold medals. Here you are as a freshman in college without ever making an Olympic team or a national team or winning a gold on a global scale. And you're making stuff up when I'm giving you golden methods for success." So again, I thought, oh, well, I'm smart. I'm this wise 18-year-old. Can't I make things up? No, don't make things up. That's again, proven out in research. What you may not realize when you're studying business, it's just like studying healthcare. It's all about research. So every paper I write, which I have to write a paper every single week. These are, my last one was a 15-page paper. Need 10 citations that are from business journals proving out the methods, procedures, processes, concepts that you're talking about in your paper. There's no home cooking when it comes to success, at least not early on. I know we're all so brilliant that we think we know how to do it the right way, or that the right way is our way. Just doesn't work like that. I've been asked to consult for some fairly large organizations, and sometimes I can't succeed as a consultant because the leader or leadership of that organization is too smart. They've got all these great, bright ideas. And I'm like, listen, this works. And in fact, your ideas break certain rules. And so you do it that way, you're breaking rules. Certainly there's a place for ideas and creativity, but then there are rules that can't be broken, or that's just the way it's going to. There's for example, there's one rule called you can't outsource your core competencies. So I went into a really large, it's actually a regenerative medical company to lead, and they were outsourcing their billing, even though they primarily were an insurance-based organization, and the billing was awful. So they were collecting 10-15%, all kinds of audits. I'm like, yeah, you broke a rule. I'm like, oh, we don't want to take that on. Like, well, if you continue to break that rule, you'll continue to fail.